Hi guys, and welcome back to Silk Synopsis Breakdown. In this one, I'm going to be breaking down Boomerang. This is one of my favourite movies of all time. It's just so damn good, okay? It's a romantic comedy and it came out in 1991, and it follows the lives of well-to-do corporate folks working in New York in a high-end cosmetics company called Chantress. It's called Boomerang, so a boomerang is essentially meant to come right back at you, right? And in the beginning of the movie, before it even starts, the narrator says a dog that chases its tail will be dizzy. So this kind of foreshadows what happens in the movie. And it stars Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens, and Halle Berry. So the lead character is Marcus Graham, who's played by Eddie Murphy, and we are welcomed by this man called Marcus Graham, and he is this suave, confident guy who seems to be a bit of a womanizer. Like, he walks into work and the ladies just absolutely love this man. Like, he's just got this air of confidence and he doesn't even have to try. Do you know what I mean? He's clean cut and he's an ad executive. Walks in, every woman is saying hi to him, and he's not even having to force it or anything. There's no kind of he's not like a mean guy who forces women to who forces women to be near him. They want him like that, okay? And every woman is like, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, yeah. Clearly he has some kind of reputation going on that he's established. So at work, Marcus has this assistant guy, right? And he's a character. He's definitely a character. He comes up with these weird ass campaigns sometimes, honestly. But anywho, Marcus has two friends that actually work at the same building. One is called Gerard and the other one is called Tyler. And these two friends, they don't have the same charm as Marcus, at all. They're kind of nerdy guys. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but when it comes to acquiring women, they kind of struggle with that. So Marcus and his friends were at lunch, right? And all of a sudden, Marcus sets his eyes on this beauty, and she's wearing all white. This beauty is in all white, and she has a dog. And Marcus strategically, right, buys a leash of some other random couple, right, to make out as if he has lost his dog called Kirby. This is one of the funniest parts of the movie, because he's like, Curbster, as if he's lost his dog when he ain't got no dog. And it's like he can tell that this woman is a bit docile, a little bit slow or something, because he knows exactly who to pick on. And the fact that she's wearing white as well, all white, I think it symbolizes her innocence for sure. This woman is super aloof and airy, and she's super sweet, but she doesn't have a grasp of reality, and he knows who to pick on, okay? So anyway, Marcus invites this girl to his home and they have a little date. He cooks and everything, and during their conversation, as beautiful as she is, he's really not that interested in her, right, as a person in terms of her mind and everything, because as I said, she's very airy and I don't know, this girl, she's just a bit in the sky, she's in the clouds, okay? So he's not interested in her, but she's interested in him. It seems like she's fascinated by what he has to say for himself. She's like, oh, tell me all about you and all of this. Might I add that Marcus has this neighbor, right, this woman. She's a little bit cuckoo, but she's speaking the truth. She's literally holding signs at this girl saying he's trash, don't go with this guy. And he even has a couple of words with her. And she's like, you just broke my heart, Marcus. And he doesn't even accept it. I mean, I don't even know if that was true, because she seems very, very crazy. But yeah, but this girl, it's like when this neighbor is shouting these things at her, don't go with him, it doesn't even click. he's just not interested. Like he's like, oh, you are one slow piece of work. That's what he's thinking anyway. But anyways, he's like, yeah, it's time for me to take you home. So then he takes her home, and she's like, spend the night with me, and you can imagine what happens. But he doesn't actually want to. She kind of like springs herself on him, but he accepts it anyway. And he ends up like not wanting to take it further with her, because he checks her toenails, and like the nail varnish hasn't been painted on properly. It probably was, but it's like she didn't redo it or something. Yeah, she didn't redo her nails. And then he complains about this to his friends and saying, I'm seeking perfection in a woman, and she doesn't fit that. And the friends are like, whoa, like you're complaining. We don't even get women out here, and you're complaining about some damn feet. So yeah, this guy's picky. I mean, I understand why he wasn't interested in her as a person, because in terms of personality, like it wasn't there. But yeah, it's like, why are you complaining then? Why are you acting as if you're so innocent? You don't even know what's going on. Like this Marcus guy, make up your mind. You know what I mean? It's like you're a player, but you don't even want to take that title, because I don't know, this guy. So there's this lady in the building, right, whose name is Lady Eloise. And Lady Eloise is someone who created this beauty brand for the company, the parent company. But this is a beauty brand within the company called Lady Eloise, and this is the woman who started it all, right? One day, Lady Eloise calls Marcus into her office, and she's like to him, I consider you to be a strong asset in this company. And she's very fond of Marcus. Like she's flirting with him, and clearly Marcus has a reputation of obviously like getting with a lot of women within the workplace, and she's obviously heard of this, and she's caught sight of this, and it seems like she wants to experience Marcus, like for some reason. So then, she kind of like persuades him to go to her house in Lavender Hill. So he ends up going down to Lavender Hill because, he thinks that maybe he's going to be able to climb the corporate ladder, because she did say to him, you're an asset to this company, and I'm thinking about who's going to run this place, right? So he ends up at Lavender Hill, and the security guard lets him in, and the security guard is cracking up, rightfully so, right? Because he knows something is fishy. She has a beautiful home, absolutely beautiful. She's an older woman, but she knows exactly what she wants. She's very eccentric and crazy. I mean, I don't know, the fact that she wanted Marcus is just crazy. But anyway, right, they do something or whatever in the house, and I don't know, it's like he genuinely has this confidence within him that him, doing that with her is going to allow him to be able to climb up within his workplace, within the company. It's like, yeah, I know that I'm going to be able to do this, but it doesn't work like that, right? That's not the reality, but he genuinely thinks this. And it's as if he doesn't even look at this as a bad thing. Like, deep down he knows why he's going to her house, but it's like it doesn't register with him that he's trying to do that to get somewhere or something. Like this guy, like, damn well that she was acting a certain way with you in the office, and you're acting as if, oh, it's just nothing. Like, boy, please. Okay. So anyway, it must have been the following week or something, or the following day at the company, and he bumps into this strikingly good-looking woman, and she's like on the ground floor. But when I watched this movie for the first time ever, I thought that this woman was the same woman in the beginning, but they're not. I was like, what? This is two completely different women? This is crazy. I genuinely thought that. But anyways, he goes up to her and he's like, wow, you were literally the most stunning woman I've ever seen in my whole life. And she's not impressed. She's like, okay, what if I came up to you and said, you're the most handsome thing in the world? He said, I'd probably believe you, right? This guy is confident because he's been validated so many times by so many different women. And then they end up in the lift together, right? And she's like, And then he's like, I'm Marcus Graham, by the way. I work as a, such and such. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be taking over this company really soon, because he's thinking that Lady Eloise said that he's going to be doing this, but really that's not the reality. Because then this woman, her name is Jacqueline, she's like, oh no, there's some kind of misunderstanding, because I'm going to be taking over Lady Eloise, right? And Lady Eloise is not actually in control of that company, and she hasn't been for a very, very long time. So this guy is deluded in terms of the confidence. So yeah, she's like, whoa, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what you were thinking. And then he's like to her, Lady Eloise said that I could do this. And she's looking him up and down because, maybe she's heard about Marcus, and his reputation and everything. And she's giggling, like, too funny. So there's this wonderful work event going on. Like, it looks like a huge, huge deal, right, for this company. It's a huge company. And it's for, it's in celebration of Lady Eloise, right, and where it's going in the next century, right, in the next 20 years, 40 years, whatever. So Jacqueline is there because obviously she's now like the head of Lady Eloise, and she's the one who's like talking, like the head speaker. And this other woman is with her, and her name is Angela. And she's like to Marcus, you guys should get to know each other, because she works in the art department and everything. So his friends are there, Gerard and Tyler, and they're like, oh, this is the girl that you've been talking about. So this is the woman that you've been talking about, the one that you met, and they're like, damn, she's so pretty, this woman is so gorgeous, and she is. So, and then Jacqueline introduces, who is going to be the next face of Lady Eloise, right? And Lady Eloise is also there at this event, as she should be, okay? She's the one who started it. And it's this crazily eccentric woman called Strange, right? Who's played by Grace Jones, who is obviously very eccentric in real life as well, which I love. And she comes down on a damn like helicopter and then gets on a horse, and it's very bloody dangerous, like her rocking into the place like that. Everyone's like, what the hell? Like, she's literally coming out of the sky, and it's a crazy show. Crazy. And she's gonna be the next head of Lady Eloise, in terms of the face of it, like an ambassador basically for a company, right? So this is like old school influencing, basically. Yeah. So anywho, Jacqueline and Marcus have a conversation, like, and they're kind of flirting and everything. Like, they clearly like each other in a certain kind of way. Also, this Angela woman who is from the art department, she gets introduced to Gerard, Marcus's friend, because like he's like, yeah, you two get to know one another, because both of them are kind of nerdy. So yeah, and they end up, eventually actually going on a date. So yeah. And guys, I forgot to mention this damn intern that works there, right, at the company, right? Maybe he hands out certain things to people, like he's an intern, right? Like, he's like, how long is it going to take you to get Jacqueline? A week? Because the other people here want, like, you are one deluded man, okay? But anyway, Strange shows up to a meeting about a campaign that she's going to be doing. And this woman is crazy. Like, she literally, it's for a fragrance, by the way. And she, like, puts her underwear in this guy's face, who's like the tester for the actual solution for the perfume, something along those lines, right? He does something along those lines in terms of making the actual perfume itself, and she's obviously going to be the face of the company because it's a beauty company. Also, Marcus is like to Jacqueline, let's have a little work dinner right at my house. Nothing inappropriate, just at my house. We could talk things over. And she's like, whoa, whoa. But then she agrees to it, and he probably thinks something else is going to go down at his house, but she just has the work dinner, watches a bit of basketball, and then she's like, yeah, I gotta go. And that neighbor that Marcus has, she's screaming, like when she when they're at the work dinner, right, at Marcus's house, the neighbor that he has is like, he's trash, he's this, he's that. But this time around, right, because remember the first girl was warned about Marcus, Jacqueline goes up to the neighbor, and then Marcus is like, where have you gone, where have you gone? And she is with the neighbor giggling, right? So this woman is alert. She ain't like the other woman. She's not docile. She knows what's going on, okay? So anywho, Angela and Gerard, they're on a date at Angela's house. And I don't even know if I should mention this part of the movie because it's such an awkward date, like super awkward. But they're so sweet, like they're both nerdy and everything. And then she has this beautiful home, Angela, and she's got all of her art pieces around and everything. He's like, do you want children? She's like, yeah, I want so many children. She seems to be this really, really sweet person. But it's just too awkward. It's too awkward, okay? But anywho, Marcus and Jacqueline, they go on, I think a lot of the people from the company actually go on this work trip, right? And then maybe to take a break or whatever, Marcus and Jacqueline they go out, but they go out dancing, right? And then after that, they do something. And then it's like Marcus is just kind of really, really, really feeling Jacqueline after that. Like, he goes into her office, starts hugging her up, and she's like, whoa, it's not like that, and everything. He's kind of hurt, right? Because he's never really felt like that before. Usually it's the women who want him like that, right? And even his friends are like, you're in love, da da da. Yeah. And Angela, she, prior to him hugging her up and everything, Angela and Jacqueline have a conversation and everything. It leads to Marcus because she inquires about Marcus. Like, Angela has a crush on Marcus, okay? She is fond of Marcus. Okay, so we know that Marcus is feeling Jacqueline a whole lot, right? So he's like to her, I want to see you again. And they arrange to meet, but it has to be like 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time that they meet, because she's a very, very busy woman. Yes, okay, think about yourself first, Jacqueline. Prioritize you first. So on the day when they're supposed to meet up, right, he gets them tickets to this theater, right? And she doesn't show up, right? And basically he's like, what the hell is this girl? And he's calling places. He even calls the airport to find out where she is, because she went on this work trip to somewhere else, right? And then he's just like so sad about it. He ends up going home and he's sad and everything. And then Jacqueline ends up showing up at his house, and she's like, yeah, I got hung up and everything. And it's like late into the night. And yeah, and then he accepts her apology because he obviously likes her a whole lot and everything, right? And then Jacqueline Stranger, the crazy eccentric lady, by the way, she's French, magnifique in this movie. They're having a work dinner, right, in the evening. And Jacqueline, she goes outside to take a call because Marcus is trying to convince Stranger to go to the Caribbean to shoot a campaign, because she's being stubborn. And to shoot a campaign in the Caribbean, I mean, that's going to cost a whole lot of money. So the fact that she's like, oh, I don't think I'm going, or no, you better get on that plane. So he tries to convince her, and in the midst of him trying to convince her, Stranger is like, Jacqueline has told me all about you, what you're like, your reputation and everything, and she obviously knows. And then he's like, what about me? When are we gonna get it on or whatever? And he's like, what? Because he's not interested in her. Maybe she's just like way too eccentric for him. and she makes like a massive scene in the restaurant, a massive scene, and he's like, no, da da da. It's just a crazy scene. Like, she's shouting, she's like, you wouldn't want me, oh my god, da da da. So then Jacqueline comes back from taking that call, and she's like, what is all this noise about? And then Marcus is like to her, you told her about my business like that? How could you? Don't care about people's feelings? Aren't you old fashioned? Like, what about people's emotions? I feel like a piece of meat. I feel dirty. And it's kind of funny how, like, when the roles are reversed, like, it's just different. Because right now she's acting like as if a man would, because men think about their own preservation when it comes to these kinds of things. So, like, it's funny how the role has been flipped on him, okay? And he's always playing people, but he doesn't get any kind of slander for it, right? Because he's a guy. But anyways, they end up breaking off whatever kind of fling that they have had going on. She's even like to him, are you sure you want to end this fling? And he's like, yeah, I want to end this fling. And remember Angela, right, the sweet lady at work? Obviously, I remember I told you guys that she had a crush, right? I don't know if you guys have watched this movie. Hopefully you have, right? But yeah, she had a crush on Marcus. Definitely. Right. So keep that in mind. So the next day or whenever, Marcus ends up going back to work, right? And obviously, because he's been like whining about what has been going on between him and, well, because he whined at Jacqueline, like, how could you do this? She finds it really, really hilarious. Like, she finds it funny. So at work, and Marcus is like, good morning, and Jacqueline is like, good morning, Marcus Graham. And then all the ladies around her are just cackling, giggling at Marcus, because it's like, what? This guy is hurting. I get real bad. So he just feels totally embarrassed and humiliated. And Angela sees sight of that, right? And then she goes up to Jacqueline and is like, hey, can you go easy on Marcus, please? Like, whatever you're doing is affecting his work, right? Because even Marcus, right, he's supposed to be helping out with this campaign, for Stranger, but he ends up giving it to, remember that guy right at the beginning that I mentioned, who's like a character, right? He's like one of the assistants for ads and everything, and he helps to curate them. But Marcus, because he's in a state, he ends up handing over that job to him, which is not a good idea. The ad that this guy makes ends up getting shown to all these people, including Lady Eloise, right? And they're just like, what the hell is this? Like, this advert is disgusting. And Marcus nearly gets fired from the job, but then Jacqueline saves him. It's just a mess, okay? Like, not right. Okay? It's just way too eccentric, way too eccentric. So, not for, like, a campaign that's going to be on TV. Do you know what I mean? Right? So, anywho, yeah, Angela takes it, like, she is offended for him, and Jacqueline is like, hey, why are you taking it to heart? Like, whoa, right? So then Angela takes it into her own hands to kind of help Marcus what he's going through, because this whole thing with Jacqueline has really affected him, like, to the point of no return. So she ends up kind of like consoling him and everything, and she takes him to try and cheer him up, basically. And she obviously does art. She's in the art department, and she also teaches art to these kids, which is really, really sweet. She's a sweet person. Okay, she's a sweet girl that has a crush on the bad guy, on the player of the anyway. So she takes him there, right? And it's funny how they're like kind of like friends, like, guys, you don't even know each other like that. But anyway, yeah, she cheers him up, and she takes him to this art class that she teaches to children who the school can't afford to pay for art classes, so she teaches them. And he's cheered up after this, right? And then, so Angela ends up helping Marcus to create a new ad. They go to the place to get it done. And this new ad is giving, like, it's just everything. It's eclectic, it's chic, and it's right up my street, especially when it comes to, what the company Lady Eloise represents and everything. So then at Marcus's house, he ends up having a get-together with Gerard's parents, and Angela, right? Because they've been hanging out. Marcus and Angela, they friends or whatever. And even though Gerard and Angela's date didn't go well and it was awkward, it doesn't mean that they can't be cool, right? So yeah, they're having this meal. It's really, really funny because when Gerard's dad comes by, obviously Marcus and Gerard have known each other since they were kids. He's like, oh, this Angela woman, she's so pretty. And then Gerard's mum is like, oh, you look like one of Marcus's girls. And it's so awkward. He knows, the dad knows like what Marcus is like. He must have been a menace since he was a kid. Okay, so everyone ends up going home and everything, and Angela and Marcus get very cozy, and you can imagine what happens. Like, they end up kissing and everything, and it's like, although Gerard and Angela never got together, that's your friend's, that was your friend's interests at some point, and the fact that you're just going for that, this guy. Just because it didn't work out with Jacqueline, and she's like a woman who's more into her career and not gonna be like getting all uptight and emotional. Now you want to run down to the nice sweet chick at work, like, get the hell out. And before they end up like kissing and everything, there's dishes piling up to the ceiling because Gerard's parents bought like chitlin, some kind of food, like, I don't know, yeah, a whole lot of food was eaten and a lot of cutlery and plates were used, so there's so much dishes to wash. And Marcus is like, damn, all these dishes. And then Angela's about to go home, and then Marcus is like, I can't handle all these dishes, can you help me out? So then she helps him out, and after that, that's when they end up like, they're all tired and they end up like watching Star Trek, and they're kind of like, they relate to each other in that way, so maybe they have the same kind of interests, you know what I mean? Marcus and Angela, but like, you're just using this sweet chick to wash dishes and help you out with things, like, Thanks to Angela, Marcus is able to redeem himself at work, and he shows Jacqueline the brand new ad, and she's like, yes, you killed it, Marcus. But Marcus is like, this is all Angela. Yeah, you better give her flowers, okay? So, yeah, they look really cozy together in the office, Angela and Marcus, and Jacqueline can kind of sense that, something has gone down, but she doesn't really seem to care. She's in her own world, as she should be, okay? Is it a rebound? What is this? I don't know. So anyway, one day, whilst Marcus and his friends, Marcus and his friends, called Tyler and Gerard, right? They end up going down to hang out, right, at this place to play like pool and everything. And they're just chilling and vibing. And I wish I could have like dive deeper into these two friends because they're really cool. Like the Tyler one, who's played by Martin Lawrence, he's so funny. He's like kind of like a conspiracy theorist guy, so funny. But anyway, in the midst of them conversing, right, Tyler goes to the toilet or something, and then Marcus and Gerard are talking, and then Marcus is like to Gerard, are you still interested in Angela or something like that? And then Gerard is like, no, why? And then he kind of figures it out because of Marcus's body language that they have got down or whatever. And he's like, why do you have to just always get the girls? Why do you always have to ruin things? And they end up falling out. And it's like, this is a habitual thing for Marcus, because even Tyler, when he comes back from the toilet, he's like, oh, Marcus, what did you do? Because obviously Gerard has walked out of this establishment, and then he doesn't even have to explain what he did. Tyler figures it out. So he clearly does this to his friends all the time, like this guy. So after that, Angela and Marcus are, in some kind of companionship, some kind of, they're lovers in some kind of way, like, because she's staying at his house and everything, they're cozy. So one day, it must have been kind of like right after the ad was shown to Jacqueline, maybe like a week after or something. Angela is at Marcus's house, right, and she's working on her art stuff, and then Marcus gets a call from Jacqueline saying that one of the companies wants to no, not even wants to, but they've approved of the ad that they've come up with, both Angela and Marcus, right? And Marcus is like, oh yeah, this is so amazing, and everything. But then it's like when Jacqueline, is asking about Angela, is she excited about the ad on the phone? Because obviously that Angela and Marcus are at Marcus's house. Oh my God, this is a lot to get down to. So yeah, he's just like, oh yeah, Angela just came to stop by. He says that to Jacqueline on the phone as if Angela is some kind of side character. Like, you've literally been seeing each other on that level and you can't even say that to Jacqueline. Like, this guy. So after Marcus and Jacqueline closed the deal for the ad, right? It's a great thing. They're excited. Jacqueline is like to him, you're the Marcus that I met in that elevator, right? And he's like to her, you like that, da da da. Like, you have a whole sweet chick at home and you're acting like this. And he doesn't end up getting home until sometime in the middle of the night, right? And Angela opens up her eye and she's like, I gotcha, but she doesn't tell him in the night that, oh yeah, I know that you've got back. And he just And then the following morning, Angela ends up confronting Marcus about, the fact that he didn't get home until a certain time. And he's just making up excuses, right? And saying, oh, love this and love that. The fact that he's even mentioning Jacqueline in this conversation saying that, oh, Jacqueline said that I'm a better person now and I owe it all to you, Angela. Just stop it. And then Angela's like, just F you, don't talk to me, lose my number, as she should. And she walks out, and he's really like upset by this because she clearly loved him. And then the funny neighbor from the beginning of the movie is, oh, you heard, da da da. Yeah, it's too funny. And then she even tries to invite him over, and then he's like, even if Christ was making the drink, I wouldn't want to come over to your house. Like, this guy is mean. Anywho, him and his friends end up making up. I'm pretty sure they've made up a lot of times about, him stealing the girl and everything, but they end up making up. They don't let a girl get involved in their friendship or whatever. And, Angela's gone for months at this new workplace, as she should. And then, he ends up, really, really, really missing her. So he then this is what he does. He gets two of the children that were at that art class that she taught, that I mentioned earlier on, to her new workplace, because he figures out where she works because Gerard told him. Like, it's crazy. Okay, and then he ends up going to the workplace and saying to her, I've missed you and I can't breathe without you. And she's like, give me one reason why I should take you back. And then he's just like, oh, do you still love me? And then she ends up taking him back and everything. Like, I feel like he got away with it in the end, to be honest with you. Like, he got away with it, and he just settled for Angela. Although Angela was beautiful and smart, and she's that girl, but it's just like, he settled for her. Really, he wanted Jacqueline, but because Angela seems to be putting up with him, she just takes him on, and that's the end of the movie. Marcus, he's entitled, isn't he? He's scandalous, and he just is like, he never wants to take any kind of accountability. The only thing that he really has to offer is, like, I don't know, he has a good career and he has a charm. He doesn't seem to be like a horrible person. He doesn't seem like he's a monster, but he's definitely a player, and he wants things to always benefit him, But nevertheless, I still love this movie. I love the style. Like, stylistically, it's such a good film. The cinematography, the fashion, the music is so good. Like, I really love how this is like a movie, a really good movie, but it's like, it's a black movie, but it doesn't feel like it's a black movie. Not that there's anything wrong with a black movie, but it's just a bunch of professionals doing their thing and smashing it in the corporate world. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, let me know. Also, there is some hope at the end because, you know, whilst Angela and Marcus are walking off, right, on the street, he's like, oh, come move to my house, da da da. And she's like, nah, I want to be in my own place with my own things. So there is hope, boundaries. She's learned a little lesson. But I don't think that she should have taken him back because he didn't really want her. He really wanted Jacqueline, but because Jacqueline didn't want to get all uptight and emotional, he's like, oh, forget you then, you know? But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.